I'm pitting Talkin Jake and BBD against each other in another round of trade history trivia. The rules to this one are pretty simple. I'm going to give them all of the information of an MLB trade that happened, except for one player or two players' names in this edition of this video. If they can name both players, they'll get 2 points, and if it's a one-player question, they'll get 1 point. If you answer incorrectly, the floor goes to the other player, and they have unlimited time to answer. Let's see how these two nerds did in the end. Last time you guys went 8-7, right? It was pretty close. It was pretty cool.
Last time you guys went 8-7. It was actually pretty close.
Go check out Randy Johnson.
July 30th, 2021, trade deadline 2 years ago. The Los Angeles Dodgers go Death Star mode. They bring in starting pitcher Max Scherzer and shortstop Trey Turner.
I rang in. Josiah Gray and Kelbert Ruiz.
That is correct. Josiah Gray and Keibert Ruiz were the return to the Washington Nationals
Keibert.
in exchange.
How do you say that name? Why do I put an L in there sometimes?
July 27th, 2018. 2018 trade deadline. Another big one. The Kansas City Royals, they're in sell mode. So they sell off a player, and they get outfielder Brett Phillips and reliever Jorge Lopez in this trade. Can either of you tell me who the Milwaukee Brewers acquire from the Kansas City Royals? It is an infielder.
Just do it.
Jake?
Is it Malibu Mike Moustakas?
It is Malibu Mike Moustakas, who makes the trail from Kansas City to Milwaukee. He's okay for them that year, and then he's great for them the next year. He's locked in. Look at him. He's freezing. January 25th, 2018, before the 2018 season even takes place. The San Francisco Giants, they add some corner outfield help. They get former National League MVP winner Andrew McCutchen in this trade. The Pirates, on the other end of it, they get a reliever named Kyle Crick and another outfield prospect. Who is that, BBD?
Brian Reynolds.
Brian Reynolds went from San Francisco to Pittsburgh in the Andrew McCutchen trade. People forget about that.
Bad trade.
And now we have back-to-back tours.
Twos.
So, an opportunity for somebody to either build a lead or take a lead or tie or who knows. Okay. December 14th, 2017, a little over a month before our last trade. St. Louis Cardinals, they don't have a great trade history.
Not the stamp.
They make a lot of goofs and gaffes in these trades. They call up the Miami Marlins and they acquire from them outfielder Marcell Ozuna. Two big pitchers went back to the Marlins in this trade. I would like to hear both of their names. BBD is going to take a shot.
Sandy Alcantara and Zach Gallen.
Sandy Alcantara and Zach Gallen are correct. 2 points for BBD. They also got a couple other pieces, but those were the big ones. You guys are tied 3-3. I expect nothing less. You're both great at this. You're doing a great job. July 13th, 2017. 2017 MLB trade deadline. This one is also a tour. Crosstown trade. These don't happen that often. But the Chicago Cubs, they're trying to repeat. They're trying to make the magic happen again. So they call up the South Side. They call up the White Sox, and they go get left-handed starter Jose Quintana. It does Jake Storiale.
Eloy Jimenez. And I don't know the other one.
I know the other one. Are we
Jake,
able
are
to
you
split?
foregoing your answer? Or do you
Should
wanna take
I
a
should
shot?
guess,
You
right?
should probably
You should
take
probably
a shot.
guess it.
And Eloy Jimenez and Patrick Wisdom.
That answer is incorrect. So now it goes to BBD, who has to give me both names.
So we can't each take 1 point here. Like I'd be taking both from him.
I think you'd be taking both from him.
Wow.
I didn't say which one was correct.
Eloy Jimenez and Dylan Cease.
Dylan Cease is correct.
Cease.
Jake is upset. He's down 5-3. BBD on a 4-0 run. This is the 2015 MLB trade deadline. A lot happened that year. It was a good one.
My baseball dark ages.
The Oakland A's are selling. Made the wild card last year. Didn't quite get it done this year. They are trading away somebody to the Kansas City Royals. In return, they get Sean Manaea, who becomes a really big starter for them. But in this trade, they trade away a big-time utility guy who becomes part of the 2015 Royals. BBD?
Ben Zobrist.
Ben Zobrist is
Utility
correct.
guy. Hint of all hints.
Hint of all hints.
The utility guy.
Excuse you. Should I
Come
just not say
on.
anything?
Come on.
I'm trying to paint a picture.
Utility guy.
Okay. Same day as the last one. This one's for one. Does that mean he's a clown?
July 15th.
July 28th.
July 20th.
2015.
Interdivision trade. Whoa. How about this? Nationals are buying. They're trying to get it done. They're trying to catch
Selling pop.
the New York Mets. What a time to be alive. They send away pitching prospect Nick Pivetta to the Philadelphia Phillies in exchange for some bullpen help. Who do they acquire?
Phillies.
From the Phillies. A very notable reliever. BBD.
Don't say that. Now I'm thinking it's the other. I was between two guys.
I don't know.
My guess is Ryan Madsen.
That is incorrect.
But
Jake?
I was thinking of the other guy once you said that hint.
Jonathan Papelbon.
Jonathan
Yeah.
Papelbon is correct. He later tries to choke Bryce Harper.
This is my Jonathan Papelbon impression.
That's a good one. December 28th, 2014. The offseason before 2015. Interdivision trade again. How about that? The Los Angeles Dodgers
Never would know that.
make a trade with the San Diego Padres, which would never happen these days. They acquire, the Dodgers, catcher Yasmani Grandal and starting pitcher Zach Eflin. Big win for them. Who do the San Diego Padres get from the Dodgers in exchange? BBD.
Matt Kemp.
Matt Kemp is correct. This is the
Interesting.
first Preller Palooza where he goes in big. Gets Justin Upton, gets Matt Kemp,
Good
and then they were worse than they were the year before.
lad.
This one's a sneaky one. It's another interdivision trade. It's the 2014 MLB trade deadline. Yankees stink, so they don't matter right now. We're talking about the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox
That's a crazy.
pulling
ricochet.
off a 1-for-1 trade. The Orioles are in it, so they pull off a trade and they go get their closer, Andrew Miller, from the Red Sox. But they deal away a big-time prospect in return. Who do the Red Sox get in this trade?
I recall this.
Jake.
Eduardo Rodriguez.
Eduardo Rodriguez
Oh.
is correct.
Nice.
Kind of a big win-win trade. Like, Orioles
They get-
needed
both,
Andrew
Both
Miller.
teams got what they needed out of that.
Red Sox got a lot of mileage out of
For
Erod.
Miller's tree.
December 17th, 2012. Now we're turning it back. We're over 10 years back now. The Toronto Blue Jays are trying to get back into things.
Yes.
So they're buying in big with this offseason trade. This is a two-pointer. 2 points are on the board. They trade with the New York Mets to get some big-time rotation help, and they acquire the Cy Young winner, R.A. Dickey. They trade away two big-time prospects back to the Mets in return. Both of them have a big effect. BBD.
Noah Syndergaard and Travis Darno.
Both of those are correct.
No, didn't have to know.
2 points for BBD. I contemplated just making it a Syndergaard question. I was like, Darno's good
Darno
enough.
was good.
People-
He was a big
Darno's
prospect.
definitely good enough.
Huge prospect.
Devastating. Jake farting. The San Diego Padres and the Chicago Cubs are linking up. It's January 6th, 2012.
Anthony Rizzo.
Wow. That is correct. Holy shit. I thought that was actually one of the harder ones. Jake gets on the board. It's 6 for Jake, 9 for BBD.
Nice.
Now we're in the 2000s. July 29th, 2009. Trade deadline again. The Cleveland Indians are selling. The Philadelphia Phillies are buying because they're trying to get back to the dance and win the World Series again. In this big trade, the Indians get a prospect package that is headlined by Carlos Carrasco, who goes on to have a really good career. Who's the one player the Phillies get in return? BBD.
Cliff Lee.
Cliff Lee is correct. That is your 10th point.
This one.
This one is worth 2 points. November 10th, 2008. The Rockies had a tough season. They went to the World Series the year before. They didn't make the playoffs this year. So they're selling. And they contact the Oakland Athletics to pull off a trade. Going to the Athletics is Matt Holliday, who later gets out of there pretty quick. The Rockies get 2 big-time players in return. One of them a prospect, one of them was already in the major leagues. Let's see if you can name both those players. Jake wants to press the button so bad. He did it! Jake, you're going to give me 2 names?
Troy Tulowitzki and Jason Jennings next.
That is an incorrect answer.
I thought it was. Thought that was incorrect.
You thought that was
Jason
incorrect.
Jennings was a little crazy.
Rookie of the year, Jason Jennings to
It's
you.
true. It's true.
Respect on his
Earlier
name.
That's
Beebs, do you want to try answering, or would you like the hint?
I could try answering.
Okay.
And between two, one of them is Cargo.
Okay.
And the other, I'm between 2 guys that it could be. I was thinking it was one guy for a while when I said that quip before, but while I was thinking of that, I thought of another guy that I believe in more. I would say Houston Street.
Both those answers are correct. Rookie of the Year winner Houston Street and Carlos Gonzalez.
Another Rookie of the Year guy.
That was going to be my hint. That Street won Rookie of the Year.
I was thinking of Jason Hamill. I know he had both those teams.
They played those teams. That was really good. That was, I think, probably one of the tougher ones.
Cargo is the only one I knew.
Yeah. That was good. So that's 2 more points for you. You're running up the score now. It's 12-6 BBD. 2008 MLB trade deadline, July 7th. The Milwaukee Brewers trying to snap a playoff drought. They're going to go ahead and trade for CC Sabathia and try and wring that arm dry. But they sent over some big-time prospects back to the Cleveland Indians. One of them is Matt Laporta, who everyone thought was going to be good.
Power.
And the other one, I would like you to name for me. BBD.
Michael Brantley.
Michael Brantley.
Ooh, that's
is
right.
Correct. He was the player to be named later in that trade. They just
He
threw
got
him in.
tossed in.
He got
tossed in later.
Have a career. I stunk today.
It wasn't a
And
great
I got
showing.
beat by a better player.
So you guys are 1-1 in this series.
Going
I guess
down.
we'll have to do like a little best of 3 action or something. Good job, fellas. Well, I gotta admit, I made this one harder on purpose, and they still did great. This time it was BBD coming out on top, but they barely got any of these wrong, including some of the tougher ones that included having to name 2 players. So hats off to both these players. They'll probably meet again, and we'll do a little best of 3 action since Jake won the first one. And if you haven't seen the first one, make sure you go check it out. And check out all the other videos on the JM Baseball channel, and subscribe while you're at it, and leave a like on this video. We appreciate you guys, and as always, we'll see you next time for another JM Baseball trivia video.